Honolulu Yacht Harbor 2 days ago for a 3-hour island cruise. The tiny craft was apparently caught in the surprise storm which hit the area that day. The crew consisted of a young first mate, Willie Gilligan. His skipper, Jonas Brumby, is an old salt in these waters. The passenger list included one of the world's wealthiest men, billionaire Thurston Howell III, and his socialite wife, the international and patroness of the arts, Lovey Howell. Also aboard the missing craft were Miss Mary Ann Summers of Winfield, Kansas, and Miss Ginger Grant of Hollywood. Mary Ann Summers, an attractive farm girl, won the cruise on the radio call-in show and was dubbed Winfield's luckiest citizen. Glamorous Ginger Grant boarded the boat following a nightclub singing engagement, still wearing the evening dress from her last performance. The final member of the missing group is Professor Roy Hinckley, research scientist and well-known scoutmaster. Hope for their survival grows dim. And now for the news from Wall Street. Today, the Dow Jones Industrial Average climbed to a new high.
Don't shut that off. That's the best part. Gilligan. Gilligan. Snoring going on.
I don't hear anything.
Gilligan, I want you to go back to sleep. And this time I want you to sleep without snoring. That is an order.
How can I know if I'm snoring, Skipper? If I'm asleep, that doesn't make any sense.
Sense? You want sense? Listen to me, Gilligan. We've been on this island for 2 weeks and already got more furniture than a hotel. We live in better constructed houses than anybody in the world, all made by hand out of bamboo and vines. Clothes are all spotless. Nobody ever sweats, goes to the bathroom or gets dirty. Apparently nobody ever fools around either. Despite the fact we've got 2 gorgeous young women running around half naked all the time. A professor can build cars, battery chargers, a nuclear power generator, but he can't fix a hole in the boat. God's sakes, we're 2 grown men who sleep in our shoes, and you want sense.
I understand, Skipper. I understand the reason you are mad. My snoring really can get awfully bad. But living here together, be sleeping in the weather, you've got a nice warm hut, so just be glad.
I just prepared a yummy gourmet meal, which on an island may appear unreal. But if our vegetation is in the population, how we blessed and it's real.
I just don't understand how all of this occurs. It's 98 degrees, and yet you're standing there in furs. This island is bizarre. It's very plain to see. This makes no sense to me. I understand entirely what you mean, Captain. There's some awfully unusual things that go on here. For example, Professor, if you really had a brain, the answer to my question you've explained. If you can take reductions and lumpies like those suctions, how hard is it to radio a plane?
Now that Mr. Howell's on a roll, there is a question that disturbs my soul. Upon this island nation, we're dying of frustration. Why don't you make some type of birth control?
Hermes, I'll review which analytically the eruption logic and with reciprocity. Perhaps I could construct a bamboo IUD that makes no sense to me. And another thing that makes no sense to me is what all of you are here in my house. You see, Gilligan, this island defies all the rules of logic and common sense. So with all the lunacy that goes on around here, it doesn't really seem unreasonable for me to ask you to sleep without snoring. Now, does it?
Not at all. Good night, Skipper.
Good night, buddy.
Professor, how does it work?
Well, it's quite simple, actually. You load the clothes into the top of the barrel, add some fresh water and soap, and paddle. I've applied some basic principles of theoretic physics, the formula for Fulcrum mechanics, and added a simple yet highly effective agitation device constructed of various flora indigenous to our island. The only thing missing from this equation is an energy source.
An energy source?
Why, yes, as you know, Gilligan, no modern convenience can operate without external stimulus. In layman's terms, we need a workhorse.
But there aren't any horses on this island.
Well, no, there isn't Gilligan.
You mean I have to wash clothes in this thing right now?
No, not right now.
Well, that's a relief.
First, you have to fetch some water.
But Professor...
And after that, you promise to sweep out my pot. Now, how can I be expected to find a way off this island with a messy laboratory? There's sand all over my floor.
The sand is the floor.
Wait a minute, who's the professor here?
Well, you are, Professor.
No buts, Gilligan. Now, you get to work on these clothes, and I have to analyze this stool sample.
Always the same old story. I have to do everyone's work for them. Fetch the water, sweep the hut. Why do I get the feeling my life's in a rut? It's depressing, but it's true. I get work no one else wants to do.
Gilligan, my boy, why on earth are you doing the professor's chores for him? He should do them for himself.
Well, thanks, Mr. Howell.
Absolutely. That will give you plenty of time to do mine. Now, I want my bath water drawn at precisely 83 degrees Fahrenheit, my polo pony needs repair, my golf gloves need polishing, and fix me a dry martini while you're at it. Now, I'll do it, my boy. Good plan, right?
Mr. Howell, why do you always have to sound so much like Mr. Magoo? Sure. Being rich means you don't have to work.
Now do it, my boy. Fix my polo pony and all my golf.
What are you doing? Don't tell me. You hit yourself on the head with a coconut and you think you're Mr. Howell. We're not supposed to do that for at least 3 more episodes. You'll never be TV guy.
Sorry, Ginger.
That's all right. I remembered you'll execute yourself in the Christmas episode.
Well, that gives me something to look forward to.
That's right. Just keep thinking happy thoughts. While you do my laundry.
Now the water's turning red. I guess that's from the stuff that she puts on her head. This keeps rinsing through and through. I need buckets, but this thing will do. Yeah, I bet you can hold 3 gallons of water in each side. Hi, Skipper.
Hey, little buddy. Have I got a surprise for you?
What is it, Skipper?
Fresh lot of laundry. Wash it in good health.
But I was going fishing today, Skipper.
Well, nobody says you can't go fishing after you do the laundry. And sweep out the hut, get some fresh well water, and also gather a few coconuts you'll be free and do as much fishing as you ever wanted to.
Thanks, Skipper.
Sure thing, little buddy.
Now the skipper's on my case. Now I'd love to throw orders right back in his face. Being manly is his bag. But at nighttime he dresses in drag. Well, not really. But I did see him wearing Mrs. Howell's hat once. That's it, I'm finished. I'm not gonna do their chores for them anymore. I'm not gonna fetch the water, or sweep the hut, or fix the polo pony, or...
What?
Nothing.
Thurston, dear, don't you think you're a bit harsh on poor little Gilligan?
Absolutely not, my dear. The boy has got to learn something about simple, hard work. How do you think I got where I am today?
Well, your father left you billions of dollars.
Oh, well, be that as it may, he has to learn something. I mean, he's bumbling, thick-witted, incompetent, he's an absolute idiot. What kind of work could he possibly do?
Well, he could always become governor of Alabama.
By George, what did I do?
I still feel we should help the
so the entire community is now back to normal. And on the news from Hollywood, the whole of Tinseltown is buzzing about the new evidence found in the Oswald Vanderhorn murder. As you may recall, Vanderhorn was murdered last year after he released his 8th film, Rango Rango Tango. Police Inspector Mark Briggs announced today that new evidence suggests that the actual killer may have been none other than the film's star, Miss Ginger Grant, who disappeared from Hollywood only 3 days after the killing. Anyone with any knowledge of the whereabouts of this potentially vicious killer should act with extreme caution. Do not attempt to apprehend her, as she may be a homicidal maniac. Yes, a homicidal maniac. Again, we repeat, Ginger Grant is now a suspect in the Oswald Vanderhorn murder. We now resume our regularly scheduled program, Happy Talk.
Darling, did you hear that?
Heavens to Lizzie Borden, I did.
But what on earth shall we do?
Well, avoiding Ginger comes to mind.
No, I was thinking more along the lines of self-defense.
Capital idea. What do you suggest, my love?
Well, perhaps we could put bars on the window. What, the deranged killer in the neighborhood?
Precisely what we need, a few neighborhood bars.
But darling, shouldn't we run? Shouldn't we hide?
A howl never runs in the face of danger. He walks very fast. Run.
I still don't understand how you're going to do it, Marianne.
It's very simple, Gilligan. I can make a batter from powdered coconut, papaya juice, and wild duck egg.
That sounds awful. You can't make pancakes from that.
Why not? The Waffle House does.
Yeah, did you ever try to eat one?
Sure, lots of times.
Sober?
Gilligan.
I didn't think so.
Well, that's why we'll need lots of syrup. Now, someone's going to have to get it from a tree.
From a tree?
Why, sure, we cut a hole in the tree and wait for the sap to come out.
But I'm already out. I'm standing right here.
Not you, the tree sap.
Tree sap to make syrup? You're kidding.
No. Now, you don't mind helping me, do you, Gilligan?
Not at all.
Thanks. You're just the sweetest boy I know.
That was friendly. That was neat. She was nice and she kissed me, and that's kind of sweet. I'll get syrup, and that's when I'll be carrying buckets again.
Hurry up, Gilligan.
Gilligan, do this. Gilligan, do that. If only my name wasn't Gilligan.
Now, are you sure about this, Howell? I mean, after all, murder's a mighty serious thing to be accusing somebody of.
I heard it on the radio, Captain. If it was on the radio, it must be true.
Repeat, Elvis Presley has once again been sighted at a local trailer park. It seems that he was asked to clean out the pool after his...
Mrs. Howell said that you gentlemen wanted to see me.
That's right, Professor. Apparently, Ginger has been accused of murder.
Yes, there's been new evidence uncovered in a case back home, and Ginger is the prime suspect.
Oh, why, this is quite serious. We must investigate all possibilities and make sure that after eliminating all contingencies and superficial evidence, Ginger is either exonerated or proven guilty of the alleged misdeed.
Absolutely.
We must talk with Ginger and try to straighten the matter out.
Get too close to Ginger, we might get laid out.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. Ginger is still our friend and innocent until proven guilty. Now, Mr. Howell, once you find Ginger and tell her to meet us at the skipper at Gilligan's hut in 15 minutes.
Yes, right away, Professor.
My hut? Why my hut?
You don't think I want that maniac to know where I live, do you?
Mr. Howell, where are you going in such a hurry?
I don't want to alarm you, Marianne, but there's been some terrible news. Apparently, Ginger is accused of murdering someone with an ice pick.
Oh, no. Oh, Gilligan, the most awful thing is having Ginger kill someone with an ice pick. She stabbed him 3 times in the head.
No! Professor! Professor! Ginger just stabbed 3,000 people with an ice pick and chopped off their heads!
Oh, this is getting serious.
I know, I'm gonna hide my head.
Mrs. Howell, can you please tell the skipper that I've gone ahead to the hut. Apparently things were much worse than we thought. See, Ginger has masterminded the murder of 3,000 people and put their heads on display on ice picks.
How ghastly!
Professor! Professor!
You just mentioned one, but he didn't say to tell you that Ginger has killed 3 million people by picking on them.
No! Run for your life! Ginger just murdered 30 million people in the North Pole with You have our word, Professor.
Here, here. Excellent. Now, here she is. Come in, Ginger.
You wanted to see me?
Oh, well, yes, we did. But there's no need to be concerned. Have a seat. We just want to talk to you.
So you sent Hal all the way down to the beach to find me. You want something, Professor? Just spill it. What do you want?
Well, I think of a few things. Skipper.
Ginger, we just want to ask you a few questions about Oswald Vanderpool.
I'm afraid there's no smoking allowed on the island, Ginger.
I am smoking, Hal. What are you going to do? Drown me?
Ginger, did you know Oswald Vanderpool?
Yeah, he was a movie producer.
Did you know him well?
Let's just say he gave me pleasure.
Case dismissed!
What's the matter, Mr. Howell? Getting a little excited?
Why, I'll have you know I haven't slept with another woman besides Lovey for 15 long and happy years. 15 long years. 15. Case dismissed!
Mr. Howell!
Well, I might be married, Professor, but I'm not dead. Work for the Kennedys. Excuse me.
I noticed your island from my plane. I'm here to rescue you.
Did you hear that?
We're saved!
Wait a second. Come here. Isn't that Ginger great?
Oh, yes, it is.
You know, I heard she killed 30 billion people with just because the ice thinking that ate the body. I'm out of here. I gotta find my plane first.
Another day, another guest star. How many does that make this month?
Well, this is ridiculous. I'm going to try to get some news on the radio.
Come on, Skipper. You know I'm innocent, and I'll do anything to prove it.
This just in from Hollywood. The murderer in the Oswald Vanderhorn case has been apprehended. The killer was found last night in a Hollywood nightclub after police took fingerprint samples from the epic in Vanderhorn's back. Ginger Grant is no longer a suspect in this or any other murder. Unfortunately, the world-famous pilot Wrongway Feldman, who claims to have seen Miss Grant on a tiny South Pacific island, was hit on the head by a coconut and now has total amnesia. You're listening to Plot Device Radio, the station of choice among situation comedy.
Well, did you hear that? Ginger is innocent. Oh, damn! Captain, I'll buy you a drink, old boy. It was once in a submarine.
Well, what did you expect? This is Gilligan's Island.
So as it turns out, Ginger was completely innocent.
What a terrible ordeal. Why, if that had happened to me, I would completely come unglued.
Yes, that would have been anyone's basic instincts.
Oh.
By the way, what's for dinner?
Oh, pancakes from Gilligan's house getting served.
Wonderful. That'll keep him out of my hair. You know, we really should do something nice for Ginger to make up for the recent rash of unpleasant. I know. We'll let her sing tonight at dinner. She gets such amusement out of her pedestrian forms of entertainment.
What a nice idea.
Well, thank you. Now I must get back to work.
Well, you should have a nice, quiet afternoon. Everyone else is down at the lagoon swimming. It looks like it's just us.
You know, Mary Ann, sometimes I feel rather isolated from our fellow castaways. I somehow feel left out.
I know what you mean. It's like they're the important castaways, and you and I are just, well,
The rest?
well, I better go and start supper. Good luck on your experiment, Professor.
Thank you. Now, if this experiment works, it could get us off the island and back home. What's the use? No matter how hard I try, I just can't do it. A man with my brilliant mind, a BA from NYU, an MA from FSU, an MBA from CCU, and a PhD from UCLA, and I can't fix a hole in a boat. Think that LSD I did with LBJ and DCU. No, that's impossible. I'm still a genius, and I can make, create, or invent anything from materials off this island except a boat. I can solve a huge equation with severe consternation by explaining trigonometry. A matter scientific, I truly am terrific. I could instruct with Prince of Jeopardy. The only points on which my mind is ailing are the basic principles of sailing. I can use coconut protractors just one thing I cannot do. We must get off this island, even though I strongly do suspect it might not be so easy. We had one boat and Gilligan wrecked it. Get me off this island. I'm catching quite a cold from jungle vapor, and I just now noticed we're running out of toilet paper. Get me off this island. Please don't see where I have failed. I can know the kings of England and the history of Thailand, so tell me why I can't get 7 people on this island.
Sorry. Pleasure not to let them react again. These are rubber juice.
Of all the mindless, idiotic, Gilligan, how could you?
I don't know why you're so mad. I'm the one who's gonna glow in the dark from now on.
This is worse than when you drank the nitroglycerin.
But not as bad as you guys get with radioactive seeds.
Get out of here! I must get off this island. Someone listen to this little sign. There's got to be a rescue. Gilligan's life depends upon it. Get me off this island. Send me out across the pole. Though I'm feeling weary and I often feel like crying, I've got to find a way. I've simply got to keep on trying till we finally make it back to home, sweet home.
Odd-numbered episode, Ginger sings. Even-numbered episode, we have a guest star.
Well, I hope we're all hungry.
Oh, boy,
Hey,
pancakes!
Gilligan found the syrup.
Well done, my boy.
Thanks, Mr. Howell. I found it behind that tree next to the pimento bush.
Pimento.
I think he means palmetto.
Oh, dash it all. For a moment, I thought you found something to put in those plastic olives the professor made for my martini.
Be that as it may, I want to congratulate Mary Ann on her pancakes. Here's to another good taste treat.
How delightful. The captain is enjoying his meal. Is it nummy in the tummy, Captain?
Wait a minute, I don't think he's enjoying it at all. He looks like he's in some type of distress.
What's wrong, Skipper?
Why doesn't he open his
I
mouth?
don't think he can open his mouth.
Pancakes do appear to be sticking a bit.
Darling, I couldn't see we cut this. I've seen brand new girdles that weren't this stringy.
He can't open his mouth.
I'll help you, Skipper.
Get some water. Some water.
Professor, I once had this problem with my polo pony. Anyway, in the spirit, Captain. 1, 2, 3. Well done, Professor.
Well, unfortunately, sir, I haven't had time to set.
Oh, thanks, Professor, but I never get
I'm sorry, Skipper. Skipper, here, just sit down for a minute, okay, Skipper? I'm really sorry, Skipper.
Oh, I know you are, Gilligan. I keep telling myself that you mean well, but you know, sometimes you're just like a great big disaster area looking for a place to happen.
Yes, Skipper, but I
Do you realize all the trouble you bring me?
I know, Skipper, but
Now, that syrup could have been used for cement, and you expected me to eat it.
Yes, Skipper, but
Now, you quit interrupting me. Listen, if you do one more stupid thing, just one more, I'm going to kill you. You understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, now, what is it that's so important that you just have to tell me?
You're sitting on a plate full of syrup.
Gilligan, what is dumber than putting syrup on a chair?
Sitting on a chair with syrup on it?
Gilligan!
Are you stuck?
Yes, Gilligan, I'm stuck.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
Are you absolutely
Next, we'll be bringing you that blicky boom boom down thing that nobody can understand. But first, we have yet another Elvis Presley sighting to report. This time, the king himself was spotted at a Dunkin' Donut shop in a small southern town by a snaggletooth man known only as Speedo. According to this witness, Elvis had 3 dozen chocolate donuts and a Coke. Unfortunately, the witness was too drunk to remember any other details. Authorities say that he was part of.
Ridiculous thing you get.
spread. You look very nice this evening. You know, jungle can be romantic place.
If you're with the right person.
Let me take you back to jungle.
Don't worry about it.
The amazing rescue at sea of the mysterious jungle man. Clothed only in a loincloth and carrying a jar of Taster's Choice coffee, this odd character claims to have come from a mysterious tropical island inhabited by 7 people. Strangely enough, his only request has been to be taken to the state of Kansas and introduced to as many Kansas farm girls as possible. And as to explain this odd request, his only response has been, Lukanda, 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 Marianne. One can only wonder what to make of this statement. And now for the weather. Yep.
All he did was talk.
Now tell me again why we're doing this.
I don't know. All the professor said was that we needed to collect as much of that syrup as we could. He said it was real important.
Well, he can have it as far as I'm concerned. I thought I'd never get my mouth open again. But don't even say it. Well, there. That does it. If he wants any more, he can get it himself.
Yeah, I'm tired too. I'm sorry, Skipper.
Gentlemen, please, I'm involved in a very important experiment here.
Pardon us, Professor.
We're sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Did you get some more of that syrup like I asked you to?
Well, yes, we did, but I still don't understand why you want it.
Well, never mind that. Just get as much more as you can.
Oh, I can get some. There's some way up in that tree up there beside those coconuts. I'll get it.
Why are you standing over here, Skipper?
Professor, for the last 10 years, every time Gilligan's climbed a tree, I get hit with a coconut. And for once, I'm going to be smart enough to get out from under the tree. I'd like to see him try it.
Oh, Lovey, I told you to hurry and get dressed. Look, we've missed the cocktail hour.
Hi, Professor.
Oh, hi, it's Skipper's head, Gilligan.
Oh, fine. At first he thought I was a chorus girl and he wanted to dance with me. Then he thought he was Mr. Howell.
Has he developed amnesia yet?
No, that was last week. Next week I hit him on the head with a coconut and he thinks World War II's still going on.
I thought we did that last month.
Read, Ryan.
Oh.
Professor, you just got to tell me why you want all that syrup.
Now, Gilligan, wouldn't it be pretty and logical of me to tell the least intelligent person on the island the details of an important experiment just so we can spread false information to the other castaways?
Why not? You've done it a million times before.
Well, good point. The syrup which you found contained both chicle and resin, two substances blended together when the syrup was heated to form an adhesive. Now, it's quite possible I could use this adhesive to secure a liberation from our enforced isolation.
Yeah, we might get off the island too.
Oh, well, yes, but I'm depending on you not to tell the other castaways.
But Professor...
No, Gilligan, now mum's the word.
All right, Professor. You can depend on me. I won't tell a soul.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Professor, Gilligan's said we're going to be rescued. How about we go to
Sorry, Professor.
Well, that's all right, Gilligan. I was going to tell everyone anyway. Well, swearing you to secrecy was the easiest way I knew how.
Well, how are you going to do something?
Okay, I'll tell you what I know. The pancake syrup that Gilligan made was awful, but hear me through. Although on pancakes it's a flop, it makes a fantastic glue. It's remarkable, it's incredible. I admit that it's not quite edible. A daydream, though it's true, and we owe it all to you. Nothing holds like Gilligan's blue.
It's outlandish, it's fantastic, synthetic, cotton, plastic.
gloomy for a while. Where's that varnish Professor made?
Oh, the varnish is great, Skipper. The professor made it from coconut juice and mangoes.
Will you just get to work on that rail?
Aye, sir.
And stop eating that varnish!
I think it's just the bravest thing I ever heard of, Ginger. Gilligan and the skipper risking everything, braving the stormy seas and fighting off the attack of savages.
It reminds me of a trip I took to Catalina on Mike Tyson's yacht.
Well, this piece looks like it's almost ready to be glued onto the boat.
It looks awful flimsy. Are you sure this thing will work?
If the professor says something will work, it'll work. He has an engineering degree from Auburn.
Are you trying to convince me?
No, trying to convince me.
Sorry, Skipper.
Honestly,
I just finished revarnishing the entire side of the boat, Skipper.
great work, Gilligan. We open those blueprints now.
Aye, sir.
Thank you. Now, we need to tie these two poles together. Help me do that, please. Right. Right.
Sailor design here, Skipper.
No! My finger!
I'm sorry, Skipper.
Oh, will you just get out of my way?
Aye, sir.
Ow!
Sorry, Skipper. Here, Skipper, just sit down for a minute, okay, Skipper?
Please try to be more careful. I understand that you are only trying just to please, but you sometimes seem to have an incomplete disease, and I sometimes simply want to shoot you with a gun. Well, then I'm forced to reconsider some of the things you've done. Most of our biggest disasters on this island have been because of you. For example, there was the time that you discovered Mr. Howell's wine. You had a glass and then you started swinging from a vine. You were dancing on the tables and annoying everyone. But this is really just the least of some of the things you've done.
But, Skipper, I had a terrible headache the next day.
Well, you deserve it. The way you were carrying on, I would have thought you were at a frat party or something. Mr. Howell, wouldn't you say that Gilligan has caused you a share of the disaster since we've been on this island?
Heavens, he's caused all of them as far as I'm concerned. Let's see, where to begin? I recall the time you found a box upon the beach containing lots of chocolate bars. It truly was a peach. You kindly shared the chocolate bars and then you read the crate that said 10 pounds of X-Lax bars. Our man is much too late. Oh, the memory of that little episode still gives me stomach pains.
Control yourself, Hal. Those palm leaves were just fine. If like a tree and coconuts fall right upon my head, with 83 concussions, I could easily be dead. So when you think about it, this could really be profound. I'm lucky this is sparse or I'd be 6 feet underground.
I remember another time you loused things up. There was the time when you were in a professor's hut. You thought that he was ginger, so you pinched him on the butt. You were selling explosives and you dropped them every one. The fire that then resulted was just one of the things you've done. Terrible fire, Gilligan, terrible fire. The professor was that close to finding a weight loss formula for the captain.
Bring that up, Howell. You're not so skinny yourself.
Indeed, well, Richard Simmons never sent me a thank you card.
That's only because you're too cheap to buy sweating to the oldest.
Gee, this coming from a man who owns the SS Minnow.
At least I don't go around checking the change slot at Dumbo. Why are you back here?
Thought you two were supposed to be mad at me, not at each other.
Every time we try to make it home, you make a mess. Your total lack of aptitude is causing me distress. And when I see you coming near, my instinct is to run. And this is a direct result of some of the things you've done. Swear, Gilligan, sometimes you're more annoying than that woman on the Long's Electronics commercial.
Yes, my boy, one of the great mysteries of this island is why we simply haven't killed you yet. What?
Haven't you seen next week's script?
No, I haven't.
Today, the authorities were summoned to a small Midwestern city to investigate another alleged sighting of the king. This report came from a local gas station attendant, Ronald Wilson. Our reporters found Wilson singing show tunes to a bevy of attractive women near the other pond. He was unfortunately unable to tell us his story due to a prior speaking commitment concerning his recent UFO sighting. And Sergeant Ralph Presley goes on. We now bring you a full hour of radio comedy.
Here's the story. Who'd ever believe such a ridiculous storyline?
Hey, Skipper, I just finished revarnishing the entire boat.
Oh, great work, Gilligan. You know, I do yell at you a lot, but it's times like this when I'm really very proud of you. Put her there.
Thanks, Skipper.
All right, Gilligan, you can let go now.
I can't.
Why not? Got a Navy thing? I still support the band.
I can't let go, Skipper.
Gilligan, did you have glue on your hand? On the sleeve, too. Now, we've just got to remain calm and logical about this. Now, I count to 3. We'll pull ourselves loose. Do you understand?
Sir.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Skipper,
What?
I wanted to surprise you. I just put a fresh layer of glue on this side.
Great work, Gilligan.
Skipper,
What?
my nose itches.
Then I'll put in the dummy corporation in Gilligan's name. I say, they appear to be playing charades. Oh, this looks like fun, fellas. I haven't played charades in years. Don't tell me you're Egyptian pharaohs on a tomb. No. You're between a rock and a hard... Song titles, you're up against the wall, you redneck mother. They're blue. Oh, they want to give me a clue. I say, they do appear to be stuck there, by gum. By God, stuck, by gum. Just an expression, my love. Mr. Howell, will you please try to get us off of here? Please hurry. There's no finish the game without us. We're awfully sorry to barge in without an invitation, Professor, but it's terribly important. It's about Gilligan and the skipper. What's so unusual about that? Well, they're not exactly on the boat. They're against the boat. They're beside the boat. They're positively mounted there.
Well, that glue is permanent. There's nothing on the outer to dissolve it.
Nothing.
Do you know what it would take? It would take a solid derivative or organic hydroxide molecule with the properties of benzene and petroleum byproducts.
You watch your language. You're in the presence of a lady.
Forgive me. What I mean to say is, but... well, perfumes. Some perfumes have those properties.
Oh, I have perfumes, Professor.
So you do, and I have some ice blue aquavella. That's a bleak ingredient.
We'll go and get the perfumes right away, Professor.
Excellent.
Come.
Oh, Ginger,
Yes, Professor.
I got the secret perfume.
Thank God. We'll finally get an R rating.
What do you think?
Behind my ear, can't you tell?
Maybe more than that.
Professor, I think you've had enough.
Oh, where do you keep the bottle?
In my hut.
Oh, thanks.
Oh. I think I need a cigarette.
Oh, dash it all, Lovey, I 3-putted again.
Oh, I think you're doing very well, dear, considering I'm using a clamshell tied to a bamboo stick for a putter.
Yes, not to mention a turtle egg for a ball. I do wish those turtles would learn to lay rounder eggs.
Well, perhaps they roll better if you boil them.
Capital idea. That way the yolks wouldn't slosh so much.
Buster, dear, perhaps we shouldn't be enjoying ourselves so much. I think everyone else is preparing for the trip home. You see, Robert to go golfing when everyone around you is hard at work.
It worked for Dan Quayle.
Oh, yes. I do hope Professor Gilligan and the captain lose.
Not to worry, my darling. I have complete confidence in the professor.
Oh, smelling those perfumes made me miss the sweet smells of home.
Yes, there are so many smells we take for granted. The delightful aroma of a freshly washed Rolls Royce.
The gorgeous smell of a new single coat.
The heady intoxication of the stock
don't understand it, Gilligan.
Understand what, Skipper?
Well, according to the professor's calculations, we're only about 90 miles due south wide. But we've been sailing now for hours and hours, and we still just seem to be heading out into the open sea. Unless the compass is wrong.
Well, the compass can be wrong, Skipper. I just cleaned it before we left.
You cleaned it?
Yeah, and it was real dirty, too. There was this little piece of metal jammed down in the middle of it. And I took the metal out, then I polished the copper, and then
Gilligan, that was the magnet. That's what controls the little needle that I used to steer the boat by, you idiot.
Sorry, Skipper.
Well, maybe we can steer by the sun for a while.
What sun, Skipper?
Mr. Howell, get up here. Yes, Captain. Looks like we're really heading in some rough weather, so tell the other passengers to stay below the deck.
Oh, this is impossible. We can't have two disasters under the same captain.
Get below, Howell.
Heavens, I've been struck! Mommy!
Bound on the hatches! Stand down, SOS!
Sit down, asshole! How do you spell that?
Watch out! Great work, Gilligan. You've wrecked the boat beyond all repair.
It didn't mean any harm, Skipper.
Neither did the iceberg that sank the Titanic.
Any idea where we are?
Not really. That storm turned us around and around and blew us all over the map for 12 days.
But surely we must be someplace. If we weren't, we wouldn't be here.
Good deal. Just ignore her. Well, wherever we are, I think we made for sure that Skipper we're alive.
Hey, everybody! I know where we are! I know!
How do you know, Gilligan? That wind was blowing 90 miles an hour in every direction.
I know, Skipper, but I know where we are!
How do you know?
Look what I found!
I give this. I wrote. I missed the road. Welcome. Go back to Seattle.
I don't know why you're so surprised. This is where all the actors from bad 1960s comedies wound up.
Except for the ones who wound up on the Love Boat.
For God's sake, not another boat!
You've done it again, Gilligan.
Well, I don't know why you're all so mad. I mean, life on our
Fort Jordan just drilled that corner jump, so the Suns now lead 72-60 with 4:20 remaining in the third quarter. Jordan has 23 points. Now Scott Williams guarding Charles Barkley. Charles continues to struggle from the outside.
See what happened the first 3 games, Chicago was doing all the hitting. Now in these last 2 games, especially tonight, Phoenix is doing a lot of the hitting. Three-pointer.
Paxson hits the three. He is 4 for 4 from downtown. Suns lead 72-63. Kevin Johnson, rebounded by Scottie Pippen. Jordan for 3. Yes. So Phoenix calls for time.
Since they've come out of the timeout, Chicago has hit 3 jump shots. Michael Jordan a 2, Paxson with the 3, then right back to Michael Jordan, who winds up getting behind the three-point line for a three-pointer. 8 straight points since the last timeout. And for Phoenix, the problem is you live by the sword, you die by the sword. They were making jump shots early. Since that last timeout, Phoenix has had Barkley miss a jumper, KJ miss a jumper. Chicago's right back.
Well, you know why? Because they're doing it, they're trying to do it individually. Before, they were making jump shots, just went inside to Charles Barkley and let him set the offense for everybody else.
Remember Game 6 last year, Chicago and Portland. The Bulls were down 15 after 3, and they came back to win the game with a 33-14 run in the fourth quarter. Phoenix has gone cold. Chicago now showing signs of coming on. Jordan just off the mark with that pass.
Just let it go a little bit too soon, Michael, so it was a little high and fading away, kind of like a screwball. He needed a curve in that situation.
Kevin Johnson. 14 for Johnson. Phoenix 74, Chicago 66. 2 and a half remaining in the third quarter. Paxson 4 of 4 from three-point land. Nice pass. Stacey King will go to the line off the good setup by Scottie Pippen.
Trying to get the crowd involved in the game. Phil Jackson asked the guards, help us rebound on the glass. Michael Jordan way up in the air from the outside position to get this crowd involved. He sees Scottie underneath, but the ball just a little bit too high. He knows it. An opportunity for 2 that just slipped away.
Stacey King on the line for the first time. A 70% free throw shooter. Danny Ainge is back. Richard Dumas will sit down. Dumas, 25 points on 12 of 14. And Scott Williams departs.
Phil Jackson brings back the three-point brigade, brings in Paxson, has BJ out there, and Michael Jordan.
Phoenix leading 74-68. The Phoenix Suns try to take this series back to a Game 6 Sunday night in Phoenix. Chicago looking for Rapid to make it 3 straight red. Paxson with another good play. Jordan, he'll go to the line.
On the foul line, a little bit unusual type of box out. Barkley knows MJ's quicker. He might try to fake him out. So he face guards him on the block out so that Michael can't get to the rim in case of a miss.
And this is the first time that Michael has gone to the basket and got fouled. And this will be his first free throw attempt.
Oliver Miller called for that foul, his third. Suns over the limit. Michael Jordan has been off at the free throw line, only 13 for 18 on Wednesday night. And you can see the progression in the series. The Bulls down to the line 10 times tonight. Suns by 5, just under 2 minutes remaining in the third. Barkley played by Pippen. Barkley dumped it off. Nice play. Oliver Miller completing it.
Every time that the Chicago Bulls come back to make a run, then the Phoenix Suns come right back with a run of their own.
Suns